Many businesses are struggling because they cannot make sales. And the truth is, in business, if you cannot sell, you are dead as a business. All the money that your business needs to survive comes from sales. So there's a lot that is riding on sales, which is why a lot of business owners are feeling the pressure. But when we talk about sales, it's not just an uncomfortable topic for business owners or people who are struggling with sales. Sales is also an uncomfortable topic for consumers, for buyers. The way we currently sell, there's a big problem with the way many businesses currently sell because it is a pressurized strategy. Everybody is feeling the pressure. When you're trying to sell, you're under pressure to sell because you need that money. Your business needs that money. So you're under pressure to sell. On the buyer side, there's also pressure. These days, you can't help but feel harassed and borderline intimidated when somebody is trying to sell something to you. It's almost as if you're at gunpoint. So the way we currently sell is so pressurized that it's so difficult for everybody. Sellers are under pressure, buyers are under pressure. If there is nothing you have learned on the internet today, what I'm about to show you and teach you will significantly change how you do business and how you sell your products or services. So I need you to give me a couple of minutes to make my point, right? The reason why there's a lot of pressure with the way we sell is that there's a big difference between I'm selling you something versus I am buying something. When you're selling me something, you've already made up your mind what you want to sell to me, which makes sense because if you're selling me something, it's likely you have a product or a service that you want to sell to me. So what you're selling to me is fixed and you are forcing me to fit within the boundaries of that thing you want to sell. That's the way sales works when you are selling me something. But when I'm buying something, it's quite different. I'm thinking and talking in a different way when I'm buying something. And that's because when I'm buying something, I'm not thinking of a product or a service, except maybe it's a strong brand, right? But when I'm buying something, if you think to the last time you bought something, you are thinking in terms of your needs. You know, will this thing solve my problem? Will it meet my needs? You're thinking of your desires. You're thinking of your wants. So there's a big difference between I am selling you something versus you are buying something from me. When I'm buying something from you, it's much more relaxed. There's no pressure because I am the one who is buying from you. And because you're the seller, you don't really know exactly what I want. So you will give me time to explain myself. You will take the time to understand what I need and why I'm buying and what I want to buy before you then find out whether you have that thing to sell to me. So the behavior, the structure, and the philosophy of I am selling to you versus you are buying from me, totally different. Many people are stuck in the I want to sell to you mode. That's the mindset. I want to sell to you. So I have this product, I have this services. This service. You go into your DM, it is swamped with all sorts of people that are trying to sell you something. You are in the streets, everybody is trying to sell you something, right? And that's why there's so much pressure. And guess what people have done? People have clamped up. People have become resistant to sales. The moment you open an email or you open your DM and that thing is starting to sound like a sale, all of a sudden you build up all your defenses and you are resistant. You don't want to listen. So it's now much more difficult to sell. Why? Because we are trying to sell people stuff. And when you try to sell people stuff and people are being sold everywhere, billboards, TV, YouTube, your phones, everywhere you are, people are trying to sell to you. But I want you to try this new strategy I'm going to teach you. And you're going to realize that it's much more relaxed and it's much more effective. And that strategy focuses on the you are buying from me. Now, for you to get people into the mode of I want to buy from you, you have to create the right conditions for people to want to buy from you. And how do you create the right conditions? I need you to make the mindset shift from selling your products and services to understanding the problems, the needs, and challenges that make people want to buy in the first place. Your job is not to sell products or services. Your job is to understand and answer the problems, the needs, and challenges that your customers typically have. So you're into fashion products. Your job is not to sell your fashion. Your job is not to say, okay, I have this dress, I have this clothes, I have this skirt. That's what everybody is doing. Your job is to make people jealous. Your job is to make people envious. Your job is to show people how good you are at this fashion thing. You are not selling them anything. You're just showing them how good you are, how happy your customers are. So essentially, what you're going to do is you're going to trigger desire. People are going to want to start asking you questions. So that's where you see your DMs filling up. So you see what's happening here. Normally, you're the one who You're the one who is targeting people and trying to slide into their DMs. But because you are talking about what the customer cares about, their needs, their challenges, their problems, all of a sudden they are listening to you, and then because you speak so well about the problems, because you've shown so much understanding of the problems, people typically believe that if you understand the problem so much, you're the right person who will likely have the right solution to their problems. So that is one way to go about it. If you're into wellness products or you sell weight loss products, right? Your job is not to sell your organic tea or your natural honey or your 7-day fitness plan or your groundbreaking recipe. People are resistant to sales. You are trying to sell them stuff. What you're supposed to be talking about, what you're supposed to be selling, is how difficult it is to lose weight in this day and time. You're supposed to be talking about the risks of carrying on so much weight. You're supposed to be talking about the benefits of consuming organic products and what it does to the body. And if there's any research or anything that is within the public domain, that is what you share to buttress your point. And because you have shown authority, I need you to take note of that word, right? Because you've shown authority in how well you understand the problem, the issues, the challenges that people who have them are facing, you are the person that naturally people will gravitate to for a solution. So you are not in the business of selling your products and your services. You are in the business of selling how well you understand the problems and the challenges that people who typically buy your products and services, those are the things that they deal with, right? So essentially, you need to move out of seller mode. Remember, in selling mode, you are thinking products and services. You need to move into buyer mode. So that thing you sell, what kind of problems would somebody typically have and be dealing with before they start considering buying from you? That is what you need to be thinking of. And the moment you start talking about problems and challenges, all of a sudden, you're not as weird as the other people. You're not as confrontational as other people. You're not as pressurizing as other people that are like sell, sell, sell. Instead, you are drawing people into your sphere. You are drawing people in because you are speaking their language. You are thinking and talking in terms of their needs, their problems, their challenges, their dreams, and their desires. It all depends on what you sell. If you sell something that meets a person's needs, those are the things you need to espouse. You need to understand the challenges of not meeting that need, what the opportunity costs are. You need to showcase your testimonials, the people that you have helped to achieve something. So essentially, you're drawing people in, you're making them jealous, you're making them envious. You're like, this guy has, cracked this thing. This person has this solution. So to buttress this, to bring it all home, in my line of business, I'm a business consultant, right? It's difficult to sell consulting because many small and mid-sized businesses will tell you that they are struggling. They don't have any budget for consulting. They don't even have the time. They have other things to deal with. Why would they need a consultant? So the worst thing you can be selling is consulting, because on top of it, consulting is a discretionary expense. It's not an essential or emotional need in the conventional sense. It's one of those things a business would normally think they can do without. So I don't sell consulting. What I deal with, if you watch most of my videos, most of my materials, you read my articles, I hardly ever talk about anything I have for sale. In fact, sometimes I get besieged in my DMs for people asking me, what do you sell? What do you offer? Right? It's as if I'm just here doing NGO work, but it's not true. What I deal with, what I focus on, are the problems that businesses face as they try to start, operate, and grow the company. There are a lot of businesses that are struggling under the financial burden of capital. Many businesses are running out of capital. They don't know how they are going to raise that money. Should they go to a bank? Should they consider equity? Should they chase grants? A lot of businesses are struggling under that weight. There are a lot of businesses that are struggling with how to attract customers, how to retain customers. A lot of businesses are not profitable. They're thinking of how they can optimize and maximize their profits. A lot of businesses are crushing under the weight of, how do I attract capable people, the right talent? How do I attract them? How do I keep them motivated? How do I retain them? A lot of businesses are struggling with operational issues. A lot of businesses are struggling with financial issues, all sorts of things. So there's a lot to speak about, and that is exactly what I deal with. I don't just talk about these problems. I actually showcase how I solve these problems. I show examples of people I've solved these problems for. And sometimes I solve the problem in real time in the comment section of my videos. right? So what typically happens is that my DMs are filled up with people asking me, I need your consulting, I need training, I need mentoring. I can't help everybody, right? But here's one thing I noticed. It is the market that tells me what they want and not the other way around. The way people sell is as if you want to force the market to constrain to your product or your service. No. So when I started getting a lot of inquiries about, I want you to mentor me, I want you to mentor me, I want you to, I'm like, in my mind, mentoring is not the right word. It's actually coaching. Mentoring is something else. But who am I to question the market? So rather than go with what I believe is right professionally, I have to speak the language of the market. The market thinks it wants mentoring. I know that what they want is coaching. So if I call it a coaching program, I am not going to be speaking the language of my audience. So what did I call the program? I called it a business mentorship program, a business mentorship group, right? So essentially, if you're watching this video in August of 2024, it means that my business mentorship group has gone live. This video will particularly appeal to people who have been following me for some time, have consumed my content, and know the kind of quality I can bring to the table. My approach, I've never liked push. I've never liked this approach of the very confident salesman, used car salesman that can come in and sell you a piece of paper or sell you something you don't want. No, the best and natural way to sell is to draw people in. And you cannot draw people in if you are not thinking and talking the way they think and talk. And people who buy from you are not thinking of your product. Nobody cares about your products like you do. Nobody actually gives a damn about your product. People only care about their problems. They care about their needs. They care about what you can do for them in terms of meeting their needs, solving their problems, and helping them achieve their goals and desires. And that's exactly where I try to meet people. So if you're listening to this and you have any of the problems I've talked about, you are trying to raise capital, you are struggling with sales, you are trying to grow your company, it's been stagnant for quite some time, you are struggling with attracting and keeping talent, you're trying to optimize the performance of your business, you think your profits can be better, you're very poor at managing costs, you're looking for strategies, for example, strategic partnerships that can move your business to the next level. I have a very deep understanding of these issues because I've been doing them for 10 years plus. I've helped entrepreneurs across the African continent, from Gambia in West Africa to Ethiopia, all the way down to South Africa, in Ghana and in Nigeria, right? So this is something I understand very intimately. I'm not interested in selling you any particular products or services. What I'm willing to do is to understand your problem, understand what you're dealing with, and then I can help you arrive at a solution. Essentially, I'm a business doctor. I have to do a diagnosis before I can give a prescription or actually start to initiate treatment. So if you fall into this category, you are about to start a business, or you have started a business and your business is struggling, or you need to get your business to the next level, or you're dealing with any of the challenges that I spoke about, you are the kind of person I want. But again, I can't work with everybody. I'm looking for the best candidates for my BMG, for the Business Mentorship Group. I want the highest quality of people. I want people that think and people that do. I want people that think, I want people who think and people who do. And to join the BMG is very simple. Follow the link on the screen right now, or follow the link somewhere in the comments or above this video or below this video, and get started with the Business Mentorship Group. Stop pushing products on people. Stop forcing people to see the world the way you do. Your product is not the only thing that exists on the planet, right? People don't really care about your product. People care about themselves. And until you start to care about what people are worried about, that makes your product relevant, their needs, their problems, their challenges, you're going to end up pushing, and you're going to start sounding and looking like an irritant to many people. The goal is to draw people in and not to push things on people. And if you're one of those people who get into the BMG, let me know. If you're already in the waiting room of the BMG, please leave a comment below, waiting room. Let me know if you're in the waiting room so I can give you a shout out. I don't see any business that this will not work for, but in the rare instance that your business will not benefit from the pool strategy, there I share other sales strategies. I've talked about the Messiah strategy. I've talked about the scarcity strategy. I'll keep talking about more in this month of August. So see you inside the BMG. Cheers.